is our home video.
Have you ever had one of those dreams where someone or something is chasing after you? No matter how fast you run, it stays right behind you. No matter where you hide, it still finds you. No matter how much you beg, no matter how hard you plead, it won't stop. It will never stop. That is Lucio Fulci's gore-gothic masterpiece, City of the Living Dead. It's a film blanketed in an impenetrable fog and ever-howling winds, creating an atmosphere of absolute dread that even the light of day or big city bustle of New York won't spare you from. The movie also follows the logic, or the lack thereof, of a dream, an incredibly graphic and gory dream, a dream that takes place in Salem, where following the suicide of a priest, all hell begins to break loose. Now it's up to a reporter, a clairvoyant, a psychologist, and one of his patients to close the gates of hell before All Saints' Day. Standing in their way is the ghostly specter of the fallen priest and his many victims, whom after meeting their grisly ends, join his unholy army of the dead. City of the Living Dead is Fulci's most richly atmospheric film, with a tremendous cast including Christopher George, Catriona MacColl, and Giovanni Lamberto Radice, and the special makeup and gore effects are second only to Fulci's Zombie. Actually, I think the zombie makeup effects are better here, because these are not your standard zombies. They're ghouls, horribly disfigured, scarred, covered in worms, and legitimately nightmarish. They can appear anywhere at any time and would rather tear the brain out of the back of your skull with their bare hands and squish it between their fingers like a slimy Jell-O mold than simply eat it. I could go for some Jell-O right now. City of the Living Dead is a gorehound's delight thanks to the stomach-turning effects work of Gino De Rossi. Highlights include a woman puking her guts out. Literally, it's truly a sight to behold, and not for the squeamish. The drill through the head scene is still jaw-dropping no matter how many times I see it, and the storm of maggots, mealworms, and other nasties will undoubtedly make your skin crawl. The set design, particularly the catacombs beneath the cemetery and Fabio Frizzi's score, are also top-notch. City of the Living Dead is Lucio Fulci at the height of his powers, as both a visual storyteller, a master of the macabre, and a provocateur. If you're in the mood for a waking nightmare that does not relent, then I cannot recommend City of the Living Dead any higher. They don't make them like this anymore, because there aren't filmmakers like Lucio Fulci anymore. And they don't often make physical media releases of this caliber, either. Cauldron has given Fulci's masterpiece the kind of limited edition 4K release it deserves. This release comes inside a high-quality slipcase with emboss and gloss effects, and features gorgeous artwork by Robert Samlin. We get these incredible stickers. I know, they're just stickers, but they're City of the Living Dead stickers, for God's sake. And we get a double-sided poster with the classic Gates of Hell artwork on one side and the new artwork by Mr. Samlin on the other. This is a 3-disc set containing the 4K and Blu-ray discs and an additional Blu-ray containing the extras. The sleeve is reversible, and I love how Cauldron recreated the artwork and design for the Paragon VHS release of the Gates of Hell here. And we get a CD containing the original motion picture soundtrack by Fabio Frizzi. It comes inside its own individual case with some awesome artwork on the outside and in. My only qualm being that if you wanted to store the poster and the stickers inside the slipcase, it's going to be a tight fit. Very tight. And you can forget about putting the soundtrack inside the slip. It just ain't going to happen. Luckily, the soundtrack won't take up very much shelf space. You could always take the Blu-ray out of here and put it someplace and then replace it with the soundtrack CD. As for the 4K picture quality on this release, I thought City of the Living Dead looked absolutely stupendous. The image quality is so crisp and so clean during some scenes, it looks as though the film was shot yesterday and not 40 plus years ago. Now that's not to say that there isn't grain present, but it in no way inhibits the overall presentation. There's a tremendous amount of detail when it comes to backgrounds, characters' wardrobes, and of course, those wonderfully nasty special makeup and gore effects. As for the audio quality, this release comes with both an English and Italian 2.0 mono track. The audio is crystal clear and full-bodied, complementing every crack of a victim's skull or slimy squish of a victim's brain. the oozing of entrails or the moans of the undead. And of course, Fritzi's hellish score sounds incredible here too. Overall, I'd give both the picture quality and the sound quality on this release from Cauldron a perfect score, 5 out of 5. As far as extras are concerned, first up we have Zombie Kings, an interview with Massimo Antonello Galing while he's seated in front of a shed and holding an axe. At least for most of the interview. It's 45 minutes and 46 seconds in length. Mr. Galing discusses his early work as a production designer for filmmakers like Federico Fellini. He discusses how the B-movies provided him more opportunities to be fantastical and imaginative. He discusses being very excited to work with Fulci on City of the Living Dead and having to conquer his trust. He discusses the elaborate sets, Fulci's temper, and his sense of humor, shooting the Storm of Maggots scene, and how an upset actor or actors got back at Fulci for subjecting them to that scene by putting worms in his tobacco pouch. Mr. Galing discusses working with Michele Soavi on The Church, The Sect, and Cemetery Man, and much, much more. Next, we have Requiem for Bob, an interview with Giovanni Lamberto Radice. It's 28 minutes in length. Mr. Radice discusses not wanting to subject himself to fear or being a fan of blood and gore prior to making fear-inducing movies full of blood and gore. He admits to feeling sick every time he sees the puking your guts out scene in City of the Living Dead. He discusses his working relationship with Fulci as being very respectful and warm. However, he did witness Fulci's temper, which could be quote-unquote scary. He discusses the infamous drill scene and how it was achieved, and much more. Next, we have The Meat Munching Movies with Gino De Rossi. It's 26 minutes and 34 seconds in length. Mr. De Rossi discusses the special effects he created for several of Lucio Fulci's films, including Zombie, City of the Living Dead, and House by the Cemetery. He discusses in detail the drill scene, and we get to see the actual drill used in that scene because he still has it. The intestine puking scene from City of the Living Dead, the blade through the head from House by the Cemetery, and the splinter in the eye from Zombie. Mr. De Rossi also discusses his work on films like Burial Ground, Cannibal Ferox, and Piranha 2, and much, much more. Next, we have Carlo of the Living Dead, an archival interview with actor Carlo Di Maio. It's 18 minutes and 13 seconds in length. Mr. Di Maio discusses how much he adored Lucio Fulci, City of the Living Dead not having an ending, shooting the Storm of Maggots scene, and working with Christopher George. He also discusses working with Fulci on Manhattan Baby and House by the Cemetery. Next, we have On Stage, a Q&A with Valentino Venentini and Ruggero Deodato from 2017. It's 46 minutes and 3 seconds in length. We get a Q&A with Catriona McCall from the Glasgow Theatre conducted in 2010, which is 20 minutes and 8 seconds in length. We get music for A Flesh Feast, a Fabio Frizzi Q&A from 2012, which is 29 minutes and 25 seconds in length. And we get an archival video intro from Catriona McCall, which is 5 minutes and 14 seconds in length. We also get a trip through Bonaventure Cemetery in Savannah, Georgia, which is 4 minutes and 49 seconds in length. We get archival interviews with cast and crew from Lucio Fulci Remembered Volume 1, which is 42 minutes and 42 seconds in length. That includes interviews with Catriona McCall, Carlo Di Maio, Michele Soavi, Sergio Salvati, Fabio Frizzi, and many more. And we get trailers and image galleries. This is an absolutely tremendous release for Lucio Fulci's City of the Living Dead from the fine folks over at Cauldron. If you're a fan of City of the Living Dead, then this release definitely needs to be in your collection. If you've seen City of the Living Dead, aka The Gates of Hell, then let me know your thoughts on the film down in the comments section below. If you've already picked up this release from Cauldron, let me know your thoughts on it while you're down there. And since you're already down there, go ahead and let me know what your overall favorite Lucio Fulci film is. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Thank you to all my patrons and channel members. I appreciate your generosity and support of my channel. Become a patron today and have a say in what content appears on my channel. Join me for monthly live streams and much more. Become a channel member today and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream. Both those links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.